Hey everybody, welcome to the Blissful Stitch podcast. My name is Christina. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and spending a little bit of time with me today as I chat about the crafty things that I have been working on these past 2 weeks. Today is Sunday, May 5th, 2019, which means a happy Cinco de Mayo for the people who celebrate. I don't personally, but if you do, happy Cinco de Mayo. How are you guys? It's been 2 weeks since my last podcast, and I have a few whips to share with you. I don't have any finished objects, unfortunately. Sad. But I do have a few whips to share with you, things that I have been working on and putting my time into. These past 2 weeks have been quite busy at home in home life. I'm doing a lot of purging and kind of just fixing things up in my house, sprucing it up for springtime, I guess a spring cleaning, if you will. Excuse me guys if you guys hear any noise. My kids' room is right across here and they're playing, so if you hear anything on the walls or a chatter, it's them being cute and playing together. But you can find me on the internet as the.blissful.stitch, and you can find me on Ravelry and Pinterest as The Blissful Stitch. I am most active on Ravelry and Instagram, so I would love if you would stop by and give me a follow and just chat with me through Instagram and or Ravelry mostly. Pinterest, I am active. I love pinning stuff. I really don't do any of my own content on Pinterest, which I should, but I just pin a ton of stuff. So if you're interested in seeing what I pin, as far as sewing and crocheting and knitting, as well as different, as well as different foods and just random stuff, I love pinning. So if you would like to give me a follow, you can. I would love to give a huge warm welcome to all the new subscribers that I have and the visitors that I have on my podcast. Hello! I am so glad that you decided to subscribe and take the time to be along with me on my knitting and crocheting journey. And a little bit of sewing. I always want to throw that in there because I do love the process of learning how to sew and showing you different things that I'm sewing on. And a huge warm welcome to my returning viewers. Hello. Thank you so much for stopping by again on my podcast and spending some time with me as we chat about crafty stuff. So, okay, I have a few whips to share with you. Again, I have no finished objects, but I do have a few whips to share. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm drinking some iced tea, by the way. Some cold Arizona iced tea. I guess a fun fact, which going back to kind of my Instagram, I decided on Tuesdays I'm gonna do a 3 fun facts about me, so you guys can just kind of get to know me a little bit. But a little fun fact on this podcast: iced tea is my favorite juice. I hardly and rarely drink any other juice. It has to be iced tea. It's my favorite. Snapple lemon tea or Snapple peach tea are my faves. So a little fun fact. But let's go ahead and get into the whips. The first whip that I'm going to share with you is my daughter's sock. I wanted to have this as a finished object, but I haven't had too much time to just kind of wrap this up and finish it because of my other whip that I just became addicted to. But this is my, let me just tuck this in, my eldest daughter's Galaxy sock that I'm working on. And this is using Bad Wolf Girl Studios, her sock base in the colorway Galaxy LMC. So it's a plain vanilla sock. I did a twisted rib for the cuff, plain vanilla, a heel flap and heel turn, and just plain vanilla at the foot. So I am reaching the point where I need to start the toe decrease, and then this sock will be finished. So I know the next time I podcast, this will be a half object, and I'll be starting the second pair. I can't wait to get this done for her. I know she's super excited to wear it. I'm using my ChowGoo 9-inch circulars in 2.75 millimeter, which that is a US 2. And this is the skein. Look how pretty. It has silver stellina in it. It's gorgeous. I love it. Again, this is Bad Wolf Girl Studios in the colorway Galaxy LMC. So that's my first whip to share with you guys. I love it. I'm sorry it wasn't done. It should have been done. It totally should have been done as a half object, but what can you do? Something else has stole my interest, and I've been kind of working on that, which I'll share with you next. But it's living in my Sandy by the Lakeside project bag. So that's my first whip to share with you guys. My second one, which has stolen all of my attention as far as just like portable projects as a sock, and it's living in my little project bag that I had made for myself, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. So I put it in here, and this would actually be considered an acquisition. I just couldn't wait to cast this on. I had to immediately, so I had to skein it up, but I will insert a picture now of what it looked like hanged up. So this is just beautiful. I am in love. The yarn that I'm using for this project is Handmade Home Fibers, and this is the colorway Viva. Again, I have a really basic yarn winder, so my skeins are never like really pretty and cakey looking. They kind of look a little jacked, if you will, but it's okay. It still works out. But look how pretty that is. All those different colors, and I believe this was their colorway inspired by Las Vegas. I think they're doing like different states and dyeing up a yarn for that state, and this one was Las Vegas, I believe. Again, it's the colorway Viva. So many pretty colors. And the sock that I've casted on for this is my Hermione's Everyday Socks. I'm not sure if you can see the pattern too well with the colorway, because it's a very busy colorway. But I'm doing the Hermione's Everyday Socks. I did 2x2 ribbing for my cuff. But look how pretty this is coming out and working up. This has been such an addicting colorway. Like, I just want to keep getting to the next speckle. It's so fun. I love it. I'm using Magic Loop for this one, and this is my ChowGoo red lace, my size 1, 2.25 millimeter. So this one I started immediately when I first got it, which I believe it was like last Tuesday or last Monday. I think it was Monday. But I immediately that night, I made like, I had nobody to help me because my kids were sleeping and my husband was working. So I had to make like a makeshift type of Swift to wind up the yarn, which is so funny. I use just a regular like swivel computer chair, and I'll place like 3 huge pillows and I'll have the yarn like around the pillows in the chair. So I have my ball winder on my table and I'm using my foot to like push the chair around and at the same time wind up the yarn. But that's how committed I was to cake this baby up because I just love it so much. When she first, I guess, debuted the colorway on her page, I was like, I have to get this. So pretty. So I waited for her update, and the second she was live on that update, I snatched. I had to. But again, I'm doing the Hermione's everyday socks, which I'm sure everybody's done, right? So pretty. I do like a larger cuff. Something about it. I like it. But yeah, this is my second whip that I've kind of been dedicated to and not really wanting to put down. And again, that's living in one of the project bags that I have made for myself. So cute, little woodland animals, and with a denim bottom. So that's living in there. Those are my two sock whips at the moment. I was also working on, from my last podcast, the Felice yarn in the colorway Acrobat, which is this one. And it was just another vanilla sock that I was working on. And I'm like, I just have to finish the toe decreases. And then I would be done with that tube. And I just haven't picked it up. I haven't picked it up. I've just been really working on my daughter's Galaxy sock, trying to finish that up. And then I got addicted to that colorway. And that's that for my sock whips. Now, my next whip I've been loving so much. This is my first knit garment. And it's in this really cute little tote bag that I stole from my mom. So adorable with these little beads. It's like the perfect tote bag for this project. And living in here, I am working on my party top by Abby Knits. And here it is. I'm trying to get this a little situated to show you guys. This way. Okay. So this is my party top so far. Really nice. The last time that I showed you guys, for the neckline, the color here, I'm notorious for long tails. Are you guys? I am. Sorry, let me tuck that in. Make it a little more presentable. But the last time I showed you guys this project, I just had finished the neckline. And I was continuing to work on it. And I was realizing that the eyelet sections were working out okay the way that it's supposed to, kind of like, you know, like zigzagged. Kind of looks like a diamond shape. But the eyelets, they were going in like a pattern on one side, and on the other side, I noticed the eyelet pattern was kind of just going straight down. So the eyelets were just like right underneath each other. So I knew that I was doing something wrong. And again, bear with me. This is my first knit garment that I've ever casted on or attempted to do. So I was a little bit confused. I knew that I was doing something wrong. And also it's my first time really using a chart to do my knitting. I usually would just, you know, read the pattern and not look at the chart. So this was my first time looking at a chart and working a chart. Chart. Sorry, guys. So I was having a little bit of difficulty, and I contacted the designer on Ravelry, and I told her that I was having this problem with the eyelet sections on the sleeve. I didn't know if the way that I was working the chart and the written instructions, if I was working it correctly, or, you know, so basically I was just telling her what I was doing and if that was correct. And she got back to me right away. And she took the time so graciously, and I'm so thankful for. She took the time to kind of write out exactly how I should have been working it. She knew automatically what I was talking about. And she, again, graciously, she took the time to write out kind of the chart pattern and how it was supposed to be working. So I saw the mistake right away that I was making in the round of how I should have been working it up. And finally, it's really coming together. It's coming out perfectly. I probably need to switch up the needles. I'm using Knitter's Pride in right now the US 4.5, and for the neckline I was using 3.5. Now I'm not using the same type of yarn that she was. I'm using the Karen Pantone, the new bamboo line that they have, and this is in the colorway Peachy Keen. So this is what I'm using for this project. So I kind of just did the needles accordingly. I do feel like the neckline though is kind of wide. I don't know if it's supposed to be this way or it's perfectly fine. I don't know. But either way, I'm excited to get this done. So with her correction on the pattern, everything's been working out perfectly. So I've gotten quite a ways done on this. I'm excited about it. Beautiful eyelet sections on the sleeve. Now there's a ton of rows of decreasing. So those decreases, I'm still going to be decreasing for quite a while, and then I'll be working on the body. But yes, this is my party top. I can't wait for this to be finished. The yarn, this Karen Pantone bamboo collection is incredibly soft and so pleasurable to work with. I have zero complaints on this yarn, zero. And I am eager to finally get to the body. I haven't worked on this in a few days. This was actually something I was knitting on monogamously for like all of last week. I was just kind of really wanting to work on this. But also, like I mentioned, I was doing 2x2 ribbing the first time that I showed you guys the neckline when I started it. So I stuck to the pattern of doing the twisted rib. I'm also not a fan of doing 1x1 ribbing. It's something about it that I don't enjoy. So that's why I started doing the 2x2, but I am very happy that I stuck to the original pattern and did the twisted rib for the neckline. I'm enjoying it so much more, the look of it. But again, I don't know if it's too wide, if it's gonna fit fine when I put it on, but it's all right. Learn as you go, right? So this is my party top again, and I have this much left of this yarn. I'm sure I'm going to need to pick up 2 more skeins, maybe 3. I think only 2 more skeins. And this is living again in this little tote bag. So that is my next whip. The next one that I have to share with you is something that I have been struggling to find the perfect pattern for, and that is for the Mother's Day gift that I am making for my mother-in-law. Excuse me, my mouth is getting a little dry. Hold on. Okay. So yes, I have been struggling finding out what I want to do for her project for Mother's Day. I first wanted to do Sorella's Wishing Well wrap because I'm using the mandala yarn. I'm using this colorway for her. And the Wishing Well wrap was using the mandala baby yarn. So I figured that would be a great pattern, but as I got to about maybe the 5th, 10th row doing that pattern, it just wasn't screaming out to me for something that I think she would enjoy. So I ripped it out and I found another, after endlessly searching, I was looking on Ravelry and I was looking on Pinterest for a nice shawl or a triangle wrap. I know she would love one. So I finally looked on YouTube to maybe follow like a different type of tutorial or something. And I came across a really, really pretty kind of shell stitch pattern for a triangle wrap. I fell in love with it. I loved it so much. So again, I had ripped out the Wishing Well wrap and I started doing the shell stitch one that I found on YouTube, and I was loving that one too. I got the pattern right away. I really, really liked it, But as I was doing it, I just didn't think that she was going to enjoy it. I don't know. I've just been finding it hard to find a pattern to work on for her that I think that she would really, really enjoy. But lo and behold, I did find a pattern on Pinterest for a springtime vest, if you will, which I finally working it. I'm like, she's gonna love it. This is what I needed to make for her. This was calling for her gift. I found the pattern on Pinterest. It's a free pattern. You have to forgive me because I don't remember the designer name, and I don't have a picture to share with you. I just have the pattern written out, but I'll enter a picture here. And this is the pattern that I'm going to do for her. This is the pattern that I am doing for her that I know she is going to really, really appreciate. I think a little more than a triangle scarf or a shawl, if you will. So I have this much done so far. This is the back panel. It's worked with a back panel and 2 front panels, and then you seam it together. So this is what I have done so far, and this is what I'm going to be really kind of cranking out this week because Mother's Day is this coming Sunday. But I love the patterning. It's using a treble crochet in US terms for these little like boxed out sections and just double crochets in between. And I love how the yarn is working up as well, how it's fading. Again, this is the colors that she was telling me that she would love in her project. Just pinks and purples and beige. So this was the perfect cake of yarn for her. So I apologize that I can't tell you guys the name of the pattern. But again, I'll show it in the picture. And I am using my 5mm crochet hook with this. You guys. And I made the noise. I thought my bag caught it and then it winded up rolling. But I really, really enjoy using this hook. It just has this wooden piece here, and it's like a regular metal hook. I got this from Hobby Lobby. And has become one of my favorites. The other favorites that I have, which I built a little collection for, which I have here, are these really, really pretty ones. I'm dropping everything. I'm trying. So they look like this. So pretty. I found this one first, which I've shared with you guys before. This is the 4mm. And when I had went to Hobby Lobby a little while ago, maybe a month ago, all of the other ones were on clearance for like $2 or $1.75. So I picked up whatever they had left. This is the 6.5mm. How pretty is that blue? So pretty. Love it. And this one is a 12mm, which this would be nice for like a blanket or for really drapey material. This is a 10mm, a really pretty orange. This one, oh, I had this one at the same time as I had this one. So this one is a newer one. And this one's a 7mm, which I don't have at all a 7mm hook. So that was really cool. I love working with these and I feel so special because they're so pretty. So it makes me want to crochet for sure. This is an 8mm and I've had this one prior to the ones that I got on sale. I bought these 2 at the same time. So this is an 8mm. Yep. A pretty yellow. And this one again is a 4mm. So really pretty. And I love getting my hooks at Hobby Lobby, and I love getting my knitting needles there because they carry Knitter's Pride, and they have the interchangeables. They have the cord if you need the cord, or the needles. have a lot of stuff that I really, really like. And I picked this one up too. This is a 10 millimeter, I believe. Yeah, it says it all the way super, super tiny over here, 10 millimeter. But really pretty. This one is really, really light, which I like. It's like you're not even holding anything, seriously. Super pretty. So that's kind of, I'm sorry, I'm scratching my nose so much. It's like I have yarn flying around. But I just kind of have it displayed in my bowl, sitting pretty over here. If you guys want to take a look, that's just kind of my setup on this side. I have my basket where I keep all of my whips. I'm giving you like a little tour of my podcast area really quick. But this is my basket where I keep all of the whips that I am working on. In here, I have the Felice yarn tube sock that I'm working on. And I have my little display of my hooks. If I have a small project, I'll use this around the house. And just different yarns that I have here. Let's get you a little closer. So I just kind of have my mandalas back here. I'm going to be using this colorway mandala for a vest for myself that I'm going to be casting on after I do this one. And I just have this wool, my first wool in the gang little ball of yarn. This is their Cotton XL. I got this from Joann's and quite a while ago, last fall, and I just haven't made anything out of it yet. And I have these really cool skeins. Sorry, moving around. These really cool skeins. My husband would like a pair of socks with these, so maybe I'll do socks with those. And I just have this random yarn. I've showed these in my earlier podcasts. And I decided to put in this basket all of my recent skeins, my recent purchases. This yarn here was from Knit Crate. I have another one in this big jug here. There we go. That I keep like extra yarn and stuff. There. And this is a Cascade yarn. Oh, this one's so soft. I love it. And just my 3 little sock yarns. So I don't know why I just did that, but but I did. Just a little kind of tour for you guys of my little podcast area, I guess, if you will. But yes, that is what I decided to make for my mother-in-law, and I'm happy that I finally found the pattern that I know that she would appreciate and love so much. But now, since I wasted so much time trying to figure out what I was going to make for her, I got to really crank that out this week. But I guess this would be entering the chatter segment of my podcast. And yeah, that was a fun little tour. I'm so silly. My mind has just been everywhere lately. But nothing really new. Like I said, I've been doing kind of like spring cleaning in my house, kind of purging. My daughter, my youngest daughter, has a toy area in our living room. That thing got out of hand. Like, there was no organization there. It was equivalent to like a hurricane in your house. It was just crazy. She couldn't even walk in her area. Me and my husband, I know this is horrible. Don't judge me, please. But me and my husband, we love just being able to treat our kids. And it's hard for us to kind of say no, that we're not going to get something when we're at a toy store or we're out somewhere like Target or Walmart. I usually will always let them pick something. I know it's horrible. Please don't judge me. I'm trying to work on it to say no. But they're pretty good. Like, if I do say no, they don't complain. They understand. But basically it just got out of hand where she just had way too much stuff. And I'm like, there's kids in this world who have one toy, if that, you know, like I've just felt really, really convicted. So I went through all of her toys, and there were bags upon bags upon bags upon bags upon bags upon bags of toys that she had. Lots of little toys, because like I said, that's like my weakness. Like, you can get a blind bag, you know. So she had a ton of stuff. So there was a ton of stuff that I just wasn't going to donate because it was just broken, or just not worth putting into a donation bin. So that stuff I threw away. But I also had stuff that I was able to donate. She had like lots of bigger toys and Barbies and, you know, just toys that I was able to donate, which I felt so happy about. And I just didn't understand why it took me so long to do that. I felt so nice afterwards being able to donate those things, because like I said, there's kids in this world who have one doll, if that, to play with. So why I was keeping all of those toys there, just being hoarded, really convicted me, and that will never happen again. I'm going to purge very frequently and, you know, share the things that I have here. I'm also going to be doing that with my clothes. I have a ton of clothes that just don't fit me anymore. I can't say that I have a lot of clothes that I can wear, because a lot of things go on repeat, you know, and I'm not big on shopping. So I would rather spend my money on yarn and my crafty stuff. But I have a lot of stuff that I have to go through that just don't even fit me anymore, that could be used for somebody else. So basically, I am going through kind of a purging stage in my house, trying to just get rid of stuff and make things more simple here, because we just have way too much stuff. Way too much stuff. But so along with that, I was able to get myself a really, really pretty, not get myself, I took it from my mom, because like I said, she was moving and she was having a moving sale, but she had this really, really nice table that I took for myself as my sewing crafting table. So I'll insert a picture here of how I have it set up. So this is my sewing table right now. I'm so pleased with it. I'm so happy that I have my own little space to sew. I was just really kind of taking my sewing machine and taking my materials, bringing it to the kitchen table, doing what I wanted to do, and, you know, having to put stuff back, where now I have it all in one area. I'm super excited about it. I haven't sewn anything yet, sadly, but that is in the making. I've been wanting to sew. I just haven't put any time to it, unfortunately. So that's something new that I have for myself that I'm happy to share with you guys. A new little crafting station for myself. As far as other things, nothing really too interesting. Oh, I do have a lot of stuff that should be coming in this next week. A lot of things that I've purchased online in the past couple days. I've purchased, one second, dry mouth again. Okay. I've been loving the market baskets that a homespun house, Molly from a homespun house, that she has in her shop. These beautiful, beautiful market baskets. I'll insert a few pictures here. So pretty. They're handmade in Ghana. And I've had my eye on them since she first debuted that she was going to be selling them in her market. I believe I missed wait, this might be her second update. So I didn't fully miss her first one. I missed it live, but the other day, basically, I told my mom, we were asking each other what we would like for Mother's Day and stuff. And I told her that I would really, really love one of these baskets. They're really, really unique. You have to put them in hot water for it to expand, and you can use it like for going to the market, anything in the house. But she showed, using it for her knitting projects. I can't wait to get get it in my hands and have it as a project basket for my house. So yes, I did order one, or my mom technically ordered it for me for Mother's Day. I got the large market tote, which she only had one left. That's what I mean. Like, I didn't fully miss her first update on it. I just got to it really, really late, and there was only one left of her large one, and I wasn't sure when she was going to be doing another update, which, funny, the next day she actually had an update. But I'm so happy that I was able to get the large basket. So that I'll be able to show you hopefully in my next podcast. I as well ordered just a mini skein and a cute little stitch marker from Amy from the Noble Character Crafts. I love her. I love her podcast. She's so sweet, such a godly woman, and she has beautiful, beautiful yarns, which I actually may be hopping on her Etsy shop and ordering her kindness colorway, or her forest colorway, because I've been wanting a really, really pretty green tonal yarn, and I believe it's her forest. I believe it's forest colorway. I think I may be ordering that tonight, actually. So I ordered the stitch marker. She came out with these really pretty crocheted little hearts, and she has them as a stitch marker. So I had to support her and order a stitch marker, of course. And I also ordered a mini skein, a really pretty pink one. Precious. I was going to say that I don't remember the name of it, but it was called Precious. And I'm going to use that as kind of a contrasting heels, toes, and cuff for the Silos colorway that I have from Handmade Home Fibers. So I think this with that really pretty light pink is going to look really, really pretty. As, again, contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs for the socks that I'm going to make for that. So that is something else that I ordered. And I also ordered Holly from Yarn Journey Crochet. She has a handmade a hand-dyed yarn business called Sleepy Fox Yarn Company, and I've been dying to get my hands on her Enchantress colorway, which I'll insert a picture here. So that is dying to be socks. I cannot wait till I receive her yarn. Holly, I'm so happy I got it. I can't wait to get it. I can't wait to make those a pair of socks. I've been eyeing that colorway for quite a while since she's shown it. And I was finally able to purchase it. And yes, I can't wait to have that in my hands. But yes, I believe that's all that I have to share with you guys. Any projects that I want to start? Yes. There's the rabbit hole cardigan that I thought I was going to be able to put on my hook last week. But like I said, I was working heavily on the party top and just struggling, really trying to figure out what to make for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. But that should be hooked on soon. Again, that's the rabbit hole cardigan. I'll insert a picture here in case you forgot what it looks like. But that's something that I want to start for myself. And I'm going to do it not in the colors, not in like multiple colors. I'm just going to be doing it in plain black because I want to make myself a plain black basic type of cardigan. Also, again, the Broken Wings shawl from Joji Locatelli. I want to use that for this yarn that I showed you guys last week, or my last podcast 2 weeks ago. That's going to become this. So those are two things that I'm looking to cast on by the next time I podcast. But yes, guys, that is all that I have to share with you guys today. I wish I had much more to share. I'm going to be making this a bi-weekly podcast. I came to that conclusion. And if I can squeeze in, if I did a lot more work in 1 week span, then I'll do like kind of like a bonus podcast to share with you guys, finished objects, things like that. So if I can squeeze in one during a 2 week period, then I will. but I'm going to make it a bi-weekly podcast because I feel like I just get so much more done. And I don't want to be, so repetitive. I want to be able to share with you guys new things that I'm working on, new things that I got, finished objects, just giving a little bit of time. So I came to that conclusion. I am going to be bi-weekly. And yeah, so that's all, you guys. I pray that you guys have a wonderful 2 weeks until I see you guys again. I pray that you're able to get crafty things done. And this time I am giving you guys the challenge of working on something that has been lingering for a long time. In my case, I want to finish that tube that's living in here. Let me just show you guys really quick. Why not, right? So I am at the toe decreases. It's a crazy big tube. I'm going to be doing the afterthought heel on this for the first time. So yeah, that's that for this. It's 2x2 ribbing cuff at the top, my go-to, just plain vanilla, and I am working the toe decreases now. So this has been lingering for a little while. So by my next podcast, I'm going to be having the toe done on this one, possibly starting the next one, and definitely for my daughter's Galaxy socks, for that sock to be finished and out of the way by my next podcast. So for you guys, do something that's been lingering for a while, whether it be finishing a sock or finishing a sleeve island that you may be on, or finishing something that has just been lingering for quite a long time. Also, you know what? Let me share with you really quick before I go. I'm so sorry I'm all over the place like I always am. Hello, welcome. My name is Christina. I am crazy with all of my thoughts. I'm everywhere. But I saw Nitty Natty. Her name is Natalie, I believe. I'm sorry. I know her by Nitty Natty on Instagram and on YouTube. She has her own podcast, and she has had a pattern, which I didn't realize. She just marked her 1 year anniversary for this pattern, which is a scrappy granny blanket. I've been wanting to do a scrappy blanket or just a scrappy project in general for quite a long time. And I was thinking about the Cozy Memories blanket because that's really, really popular, or doing a just a granny stripe scrap blanket. But I love the idea of doing the granny squares and kind of putting them together. So it's kind of like a crocheted version of the Cozy Memories, if you will. So she just was posting that this was her year anniversary for releasing that pattern, and she even put tutorials to show how to do the granny square recently. So that's something I would love to start with. All the scraps that I'm going to have, like with my socks and any scraps that I do have now of fingering weight yarn, and to have myself keep doing this to my hair. Sorry. But just to have a scrappy project to be working on. So that's the one that I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose her granny square scrappy blanket. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. Okay, so now have a great 2 weeks, and I will see you next time, and stay crafty, my friends. Until next time. Bye, guys.